In theory, we should be live. I always hate the little delay because what happens before the things that you guys can't see where I fix my hair and then I end up messing it all up 2 seconds before we go live. But let me know if you guys can hear me, if you can see me, and if I exist because I still don't know the answer to that. Let me know. Hello, can you guys hear me? Let me know, please. Hello, Red Hood is a legend. I agree. Someone says, what's up? Hello, everybody. Hello. How's everyone doing today? Let me get the nerves out while you guys tell me how you're doing today. I always get so nervous before these. I don't know why. I've done them since I was 18, but I have no idea why I get so nervous. Can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone see me okay? From the river to the team. Yep, loud and clear. Hey, bro, make the Attack on Titan video. I've never seen Attack on Titan. I know I'm a hack fraud. I'm a failure in many aspects of my life, but I've never seen Attack on Titan. I'm sick. That sucks, dude. What's up, bro? What's up? Alex can save Marvel. Probably not. I'd probably make it a lot worse. I'd probably get fired from the job 2 seconds into it. How tall are you? I am 6'3". With these shoes on, I'm 6'4". We can hear you. Cool. I got an ad first. Oh, I tried to tell them to set the ads like every fucking 45 minutes, but maybe I'll just turn them off. Been a pretty shitty week. Excited to be here now. That's awesome. I'm sorry that your week was shitty, but I'm excited that you're here. Hopefully I don't make your week worse. Probably will. Are you interested at all in the history of philosophy? Yeah, I love philosophy. In the armchair kind of like, I've read Nietzsche. I've read Carl Jung. No, but I am super interested in that. I always was. And I always loved, like, growing up, I think what got me into it, of course, was there was all these books at the library that were like the philosophy of Batman in relation to Carl Jung, or, superheroes in relation to the idea of, like, the Ubermensch and all that shit, which got me sort of dip my toe into it. Not that I'm an expert by any means, but I am super interested in that stuff. Do you have any advice for writing screenplays? Yes, I do. Tell the truth. I know that sounds like a basic answer, but tell the truth. Be honest and make something that is only you could make. Write something only you could write. Take as much inspiration as you want to from everywhere and anywhere, but do something only you can do. First super chat, thank you. The super chats go to help keep me alive, keep the movie going. Literally could not have made the movie without you. So thank you so much. What was your final day of principal photography for Jason like? Must have been insane. I'm trying to think what the final day of principal was, because we're still shooting stuff always. We're still getting pickups. We're still getting little inserts throughout every week. There's always something we're doing for the movie. But I think the final day, I wish one of the boys were here to correct me. I think it was something with Leo, who plays young Jason, who plays 10-year-old Jason, and Eddie, who plays Willis Todd. And I think it was something really simple and fun and tender was our final day of principal photography in the main batch of shooting. And that was such a sweet, tender note to end the big 14-day hurdle on. Your plumber movie really inspired me. Thank you, man. I'm working on a short film myself, and as I watch this, I'm reading through my old scripts to see what I'm capable of as a writer. Thank you. I love the kind words about the plumber, and I can't wait to see your short film, dude. How's your week going? Stressful as always, but decent. But boo. Hey Alex, so cool you did a feature. Thanks, man. Been watching since like 2019. Dude, Riley Rayburn. I know that name. I know you. I don't know you personally, but I've seen that name a lot. I'm gearing up to do my first feature. Any advice for when and where to hire crew? So luckily for me, all my friends, either I have dirt on them, so they're forced to show up to set to be the crew, or, maybe they just like the movie. One of the two, most likely the first one. But honestly, I lucked out because we knew a bunch of people who knew a bunch of people who were interested in helping out on the set. My advice when it comes to hiring anybody is make sure you vibe. That's like the most important thing, weirdly enough. They don't even have to be the best at the gig. Just make sure that you can work with them in a healthy way. I think that's so important on film sets. Are you going to do full the Batman deep dive essay? Probably eventually, as soon as, I am done making Jason, done dying trying to make this feature film. Yo, Alex, have you seen Dude Fall yet? Hey, dude, how you doing, man? I have not had the time at all to watch the first Dude Fall, but all of you check out the short film Dude Fall. I did a podcast um, with Jack, and sorry, I was thinking about how to properly plug. And you can see him in the comments. I wish I could heart it. I don't know how to do that. But yes, check out their short film they made super quickly and with a lot of passion. But I am super excited that you're working on the sequel, and I can't wait to watch both as soon as I am a human being. Sorry if someone asked this, but who wrote your Jason short? So it's not a short. Jason's a feature film. I wish I had made that more clear maybe in the Indiegogo, because I would never ask 30K for a short unless it was like the most highly ambitious short ever made. In our case, but Jason Todd is a feature film. Right now, it is looking to be around an hour 20, an hour 30, possibly even an hour 40. It's a feature film, and I wrote it along with Francesco, who helped, I think, hone in so much of it that he also has a writing credit and just became Jason Todd in a way that was so beautiful. So I think that he deserves to be considered a writer as well. When is Jason Todd coming out? Cool. So now that we've started, there's 173 people here. So I'm happy to announce an unhappy thing that we're delaying the movie a little bit. Originally, we said Christmas time, and it's getting delayed. We'll make an official Twitter post about it. I'll make an official all that stuff about it in the coming days. But it's getting delayed for good reasons. There's no bad reasons why it's getting delayed. It's getting delayed for numerous reasons, including the strike, which just ended. We had one key, not even key, I can't spoil it. Okay, you know what? You guys can assume who we're talking about almost, but we had one key kind of post-credit cameo slash little glimpses of this one character that was so important to cast. And we did not get to do that before the strike, and it's a lot harder to ask people to audition during this time period, even though we are indie and technically not interfering upon anything. I know a lot of the smaller, not smaller, but I guess like less known, I'd say, actors were their agencies and the like were very, not weird about doing independence, but just kind of just like, yeah, we'd rather you not go for anything right now because we don't want it to look bad and we don't want it to go against any SAG rules. So that last key role, we can now get back, resume conversations about filming and casting. That, along with the fact that, guys, if I'm being honest, I did not expect the movie to be as, I don't want to say good because that's subjective, and obviously I'm very close to it, but I did not expect the movie to be as unique, I guess, as it is. I don't think there's ever been a fan film like this that feels the way this feels. I don't think there's ever been something that just kind of feels so deeply personal in the fan film space, and it just kind of feels like a feature film. It feels like a Jason Todd movie that you could watch in a theater, and I don't think, or an HBO, and you wouldn't question that this isn't like a legit thing. This isn't a licensed thing, and I'm so proud. And I think so much of that is due to our actors and due to the crew, not just due to myself. And so for me, it was just about, we need more time to make it perfect. I'm editing every day for an absurd amount of time. I'm always in contact with the other departments. We have a good bit of CG shots that Tyler, our brilliant VFX artist, has to work on. So we're delaying the movie. More of the story, we're delaying the movie. I hope not by that long. I hope not by, it definitely won't be longer than, I'd say, 3-4 months. We have a rough cut pretty much ready to go. We just want to make it better, and we want to make it so perfect because Jason deserves that, and I think you guys deserve that, and you've been so patient for so long, and I'm sorry I'm so not active on YouTube right now, but it's because I don't just want to crank out these videos for sponsorship money, for cash. I want to kind of just hone in and work on Jason as much as possible. So thank you for your patience and hopefully your understanding, and now I'll shut the fuck up and answer your questions. Sad about the delays as part of the audience, but I'm ultimately glad the film's getting the time that it needs. Thanks, man. Congrats. Thank you. I knew you guys would understand. Like I said, it's not going to be a year delay unless, something really crazy happens and we realize, we fucked up somewhere, which, I mean, so far we haven't. So, I think once we get the ADR down, once we get the sound mix down, and once we finally cast and shoot this one key scene that I think you guys will love, it will be released. Plenty of updates to come. I'll give a way better official freaking press release thing about this coming soon. But did you go to college or straight to YouTube directing? Great question. I went to nowhere. Sorry to take so long to answer your question. I'm flustered. No, I didn't go to college. I kind of was always making shorts in high school. Even before that, I worked at a film company throughout high school, and then after high school, I applied to some colleges knowing that I full well that I could not afford to go and didn't want to be in debt. And then I kind of just started doing the YouTube thing, and I was so lucky that it worked out, and I was so lucky that I stayed in touch with all my friends like Francesco and the core crew. So yeah, I kind of just went straight into making movies. And also, any advice on copywritten characters? Thank you for the super chat. Like I said, guys, super chats go a long way, and they mean the world. Even, you know, $1 can freaking add so much to the movie, and every penny towards the movie has made it this much better. So any advice on using copywritten characters? And I want to be creative as possible while being legal. It's pretty like a gray area. I think the whole thing, it's kind of gray. You can't really profit from it. You could get away with parody. I think a lot of the time that when fan films are made, it's the assumption that you're not going to advertise yourself as anything other than a fan film. And I'm sure if I was out here taking the budget for Jason and paying myself, that would A, be fucked up, and B, that's illegal, because then I'm profiting off the DC owned character Jason Todd. All the money that you raise for any kind of copywritten character, fan film, fan creation, fan fiction, it kind of has to go back into the project. As far as I understand it, that's how it works. And as long as you're not advertising yourself as the legit Freddy Krueger movie, like you said, then you should be fine. Do you think we'll ever get Spider-Man movies like the Raimi trilogy? I hope that we get something that feels like that again, or something that feels even better or new for a new generation, but I don't think so, honestly. Those hit at the perfect time. Are any of the other Robins going to be in the film, like a cameo or something? You will hear a mention of another Robin, but there will not be any cameos in this one, at least, from Dick, Tim, or Damien. How do you find people who are willing to be in your projects, or even better, how can you find people who are as passionate as you? For me, it was literally just about knocking on doors almost. It was being open to everybody and anybody who wanted to be a part of the film. And it was Francesco had gone to this wonderful Anthony Gilardi acting studio in LA, and he knew a lot of who became the core cast of our film from that studio. And he and I would just reach out and be like, hey, we're doing this thing. We can't pay you enough money. We're deeply fucking passionate about this. Would you like to read for it? Or at least just read the script. Like, read the script. We'd be honored to even talk to you about this. And I think you have to instill the passion, you know? You have to lay your heart on the line and just be so vulnerable and honest. And that's how we found our amazing team of actors. When you're writing with someone, do you speak the dialogue out loud and act it out with them? Sometimes. I don't want to make it worse by acting it out, right? Like, I don't want to. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to read this with you, Francesco. Like, I'll be your reader if you want to read, but if I try to act, I'll hate the scene, you know? But that's self-hatred and stuff. But yeah, of course, I'm always saying the dialogue out loud to myself, or even in my head. Does this sound like something someone would say? Hey, thank you for the super chat. How did you get to the rights to the Mitski song? So we didn't get the rights to the Mitski song. Any ads that were run on that Jason trailer are going towards Mitski. I think that she's pretty, like, her rep is pretty lenient with that stuff. So it says monetization split, but I haven't made a cent off of it. We just wanted, despite all the downfalls of using other people's music that we can't license the rights to, that song was so important to me that we put it in that trailer, that I didn't care that YouTube would push the trailer less. YouTube would not show it as much because they're not making money off of it, because it's a because I'm not making money off of it. They're not making money off of it. Advertisers aren't really making money off of it. So, but the song was so worth it to me to put in the trailer. We needed that song, in my opinion. Is there any chance when you're done with Jason, we'll do the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video? Super excited for Jason. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I completely want to... I mean, when I'm done with Jason, I'll have so much free time to go and do the YouTube videos that I wanted to do and said I'd do for a while, and focus on the channel again full time instead of just kind of popping in and out whenever I fucking feel like I should, you know? So that's a high possibility. I really want to go back when I have the time to not just superhero films, but to talk about movies in the way that I talked about Batman Forever, these kind of like long form behind the scenes documentaries, because those are the most fulfilling to make for me as a creator on YouTube, at least. And those are the ones that I think you guys almost respond to the best, or the longer ones. And so I really want to go do that as soon as I am not dying. Why not make Jason a kid? Because in our story, it was very important that he spent a lot of time with Willis. Willis Todd, his father, before he met Batman. It was very, very important that he spent not just... How old do you think he is in the comics when Bruce finds him? Probably like 12, maybe even younger. So for us, it was like, okay, we'll have a 12-year-old Jason in the movie, and I can't wait to show you guys those scenes because they're so immaculate. Leo and Eddie, I mean. I can't wait to show you guys those, but to me, it was really just about we need him to spend a lot of time with his dad going into adulthood before he meets Batman. And you'll see why in the movie, I think. Thoughts on Fantastic Four hiring Oscar-winning filmmakers? Also so excited for your feature film. That'd be fucking cool. Who's directing Fantastic Four? Isn't it the guy who did WandaVision? I genuinely don't know. But I think the Fantastic Four, it would have been so cool for them to go with like a very kind of prominent director versus like their usual kind of, we're going to grab indie directors and they're going to be a part of the pipeline. I think that Fantastic Four has the ability to be so different from any Marvel movie. Also so excited for your feature film. Thank you, man. Do you have any advice for people who are scared to try filmmaking? It's scary. That's some advice. It's really scary. I think part of it is working through the fear and using the fear. I wouldn't be scared to start filmmaking. I wouldn't be scared to try. You should never be scared to try, because all that means is that you're scared that you'll fail. And I think that's so detrimental to be so worried about failure, because you will fail. There will be days where you fuck up. There will be days where your shot doesn't turn out the way you want it to, or your vision isn't coming across, or you hate what you make. But what matters is that you keep pushing through that. You keep going through that. So my advice is don't be scared. Just power through. Use it as motivation. Thank you. So many super chats. Thank you so much. On set, how is it important for you to capture BTS? We didn't capture nearly enough because everyone was constantly working and moving. But we have a full documentary kind of plan that I'm excited to show you for all our backers who donated to the movie and to these higher tiers. We have a full behind the scenes documentary that is very cool and very insightful, I think, to like our mental states when we made it. And I'm very excited to show you guys that too. You're an inspiring human. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Too kind. A video for me to share with you really connected with me. Thank you, dude. That was one of my favorites that we've ever done. Bailey can't sing his praises enough for taking my life and editing it the way he did in such a beautiful way. I feel like we had similar struggles, still struggling but inspired. Dude, same thing. I'm still struggling with it too, man, but we just got to keep pushing through. I think that having that kind of trauma at an early age really does give you a fire and advantage, even though it sucks. You know what I mean? You just got to use it to the best of your ability. Are we getting another trailer before release? Yes, I actually have multiple clips I can show you guys today if you'd want to see. I'll probably chat with you guys for a while today. This won't be a quick live stream, so I'll probably show them later. But is there fight scenes in the movie? Yes. If so, who did the choreography and how hard was it to pull off? So when you're making a movie for so little money that's so long and huge in scale, you end up doing a lot of jobs. So we kind of choreographed with our actors because we wanted violence to not, in this one at least, to not feel choreographed, to not feel staged in any way, shape, or form. So for us, what we did was just kind of like, this is what was in the script. we had our actors. We had days before the violence. We were shooting the violence, and we had like a few hours before, and we'd be like, okay, like what movement? How can we photograph this? What's the rawest we can be with this in a way that everyone feels kind of safe? You would never be able to get away with what we did on Jason on any kind of higher budget set with safety people ever. So for us, like, everyone was getting a little beat up, but everyone was so down to, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but everyone was so down to get dirty, so to speak, and to push the limit and to do all this stuff that you couldn't really do on bigger sets, just because there was that element of trust where no one ever felt unsafe. No one ever felt like they're doing this for no reason, or because like I'm demanding that it look like this or feel like this. It was very much just an open collaboration and having that trust. So we kind of choreographed it, our actors choreographed it. But I mean, if we ever get to do another movie, if we ever get to do a Jason 2, I've said before that would be about Batman and Robin more so than this one is, and there you need choreography. You need it to be more dance-like and less just like very uncomfortably violent. Do you do a Christopher Nolan when it comes to violence, or what do you mean by that? Do you like Birdman? Yeah, I fucking love Birdman. Great question. Is it going to be a good Spider-Man film? Probably not. Probably not. Honestly, probably not at all. Superman Returns is the best behind-the-scenes doc of all time, in my opinion, and made me promise myself I would do BTS as much as possible, good, bad, all of it. Superman Returns does have really good behind-the-scenes, and I wish more movies were like that behind-the-scenes, or the Raimi movies have great behind-the-scenes. Even Incredible Hulk, the first Iron Man, have these extensive behind-the-scenes, and I wish that was more of a thing these days. How good is Francesco on a scale of 1 to 10? To me, he's a 10, but that's up to the world to decide. I think he's so fucking brilliant, and I think, you know, if anyone's gonna get noticed from this movie, it's going to be our cast, because they're so incredibly amazing. Hi Alex, it's writer's block guy here. I just did a modern adaptation of Anton Chekhov play The Cherry Orchard. My question is, what are your thoughts on modern adaptation of classical works? I love that. I love when you can do that, and do it eloquently and well. I don't have any reference points right now, but I think like everything's kind of an adaptation of classics in some way, you know? And I really, yeah, I love that. I love that idea. Big fan. Would a sequel to Jason be called Jason 2'd? Jason Squared? No, it would be called Jason Chapter 2. But who knows if we'll get to make one. It really just depends on how everyone responds to Chapter 1. It really depends on if you guys like it and you want us to make more, and we can finance to make more. Someone said poopy pants. I don't think I shit my pants, today at least, but I'll check. Alex, since I'm directing a longer short with people I don't know, probably, do you have any advice about blocking, giving notes, etc.? For me, I think just have that energy up. That's how I direct, if you could even call what I do directing. But one of my friends, because I don't know what I do when I'm in the moment, when I'm on the set. Like, I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I do. So I have my friends be like, yeah, what I do? How did I act? And they said that it's like I'm playing jazz, the way that I give notes and stuff, as I'm so like, okay, but let's try it like this. Let's try it like that. Or like, what do you think about this? I just involve the people that I'm working with a lot into the process, because I don't want it to feel like a dictatorship. I don't want it to feel like here's this like 24-year-old dude with fucking stupid hair demanding me to do 10 more takes, you know? So I think keep the air open with whoever you're working with, even if you don't know them. Come in and build that trust and keep the air open and make it a conversation. That's my advice. What did you think of Blue Beetle? I really loved Blue Beetle. I thought Blue Beetle was great. I was so surprised by it, because I thought it would just be like mid, but it had its heart so in the right place. Best film this year that no one is talking about. Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, people were talking about like Past Lives. Return to Seoul was my favorite. I don't even know if that's this year still, man. I have no sense of time anymore. But Return to Seoul was my favorite that I don't think a lot of people saw. I really liked Oh my God, can't remember the name. The Margaret Qualley movie. Why can't I remember the name? It's gone. Really like that. Really like Past Lives. Really, really liked Cobweb, which I was surprised by because no one talked about Cobweb. That flew under the radar as far as horror movies go. Any plans on doing a screening at all in the theater? Yes, we would love to do a screening. We do have plans to do one. We do have plans to do one in Pittsburgh and maybe one in LA. But we plan to do a whole Q&A. It'll be open to the public. You just have to RSVP, and whoever wants to go see it first can come see it. Shackman's directing. He's directed loads of acclaimed TV. I think they hired production designer Dante Ferretti, who works with Scorsese very often. That's cool because I really think that Fantastic Four. Not that I don't know shit about the comic books, not nearly as much as I do about Batman or Spider-Man, but I think Fantastic Four needs a different look and a very inspired kind of production design. How do you feel about date night now? I love our old shorts, man. I'm always proud of it. I'll never not be proud of something we did, even if I think we could do it a lot better now. I'll never not be proud of what we did at whatever age. But I like that one a lot. Just went and watched the trailer. Same knowing of fear of the Last of Us 2 series, unknowing dread. That's cool, man. I like that reading of the trailer because we wanted to fill it with a lot of dread. Who's a better character, Spider-Man or Red Hood? It depends. I think that claiming like one character, for me at least, I can never do that. Spider-Man has like saved my life so many times, but I'm so deeply attached to our version of Jason now. Aspect ratio will be 2:3:5, not 2:3:9, 2:3:5. Loki is the best production design in the MCU. I've heard. I really need to watch Loki. I really do. Did you like The Killer? I did like The Killer. David Andrew Leo Fincher directed it. It seems to be slower and about assassinating or whatever. No, I really liked The Killer. I thought it was a great, and I'm not the first guy to say this, but I thought it was a great response kind of to the criticism of Mank. Like he misses, spoiler alert, but he misses the shot in the first, no matter how sterile or knowing he is, he fucks up the shot, literally, metaphorically. And I think it's really interesting in that sense. And it was just fun. It was a lot of fun. Hope you're doing well through the holidays. Thank you. Hopefully you're out there crushing. I'm doing all right. Literally just working, man. Just working on Jason and, trying not to die. That's my two goals right now. Have you watched Invincible Season 2? Not yet. Hey, Alex, just want to say I appreciate you creating and putting your unique story and perspective out there. I think it gives wannabe creatives like myself motivations to keep going, keep loving, fanning. Thank you, dude. That means the world. Look at this little Kevin MacLeod music that just came up on my phone. Means the world, man. I would not be here without any of you, and you guys consistently inspire me, and I'm not just saying that. I truly mean it, and I wish I said it more. Jason is going to be awesome. Hopefully, man. How do you feel about modern Jason Todd? I think that modern Jason Todd, they don't know what to do with the character at all. I don't think there hasn't been. I mean, I liked Batman Urban Legends. I liked what they did with him there, but I think that there's so many things you could do with Jason that they just don't. Currently making a fan film for the first time, hoping to release it in 2024. I'm afraid how the audience would react. It's a film about an original Spider-Man on a journey about perseverance. Dude, if it's a film about an original Spider-Man, that's cool, man. Just do your own thing. I think that's what's missing from a lot of fan films out there, and just like fan fiction in general is just you gotta add your own take to it. You gotta do your own thing. You gotta spin your own web, so to speak, and that's what'll make it stand out, and that's what'll make it unique, and that's why people will get behind it. So don't be scared about how the audience would react. Just make the Spider-Man movie that you've always wanted to see. Thoughts on reports of that Marvel wants Raimi to direct both Avengers film? It's either those or he'll direct Doctor Strange 3. That'd be cool. I think that I worry that they'd only grab Raimi because I think Raimi on sleeper mode can still direct a superhero movie better than most people, just because he's done these genre films for so long and has such a finger on the pulse of the visual language of superheroes and how they should be framed and how they should be shot and all that. So that'd be cool. I mean, I'd be more excited for those movies with him behind board. But still, who knows, man? What are your thoughts on selling scripts? Would you sell your favorite or your least favorite? If I was ever going to sell a script, it would be something that I know that I could never direct. If that makes any sense. I think to me, they're so intertwined. Like I've never directed that. I mean, I haven't really directed much. I've directed my own shorts and my friend's shorts and then Jason. But to me, I think it's such a intensive thing to write something and create something that I have to be able to let it go or think that someone else could do this better, or do it more realistically. Hey man, I'm a huge fan. Brazil loves you. Thank you. Means the world. I'm a huge fan of you. Cool. I think maybe I'll show a clip. Do you guys want to see a clip? Let me know if you want to see a clip right now. I'll show it again later, but let me know if you want to see a clip. I got 2 clips prepared. It depends on if I have the balls to show both today. Hold on, I fucked something up. Give me a second. Will the clips be shown today be available later? They will not. It's exclusive to you guys. I mean, they'll be some of the first things we release about the movie for sure. But if you guys want to see a clip, I will show a clip. Okay, let's do it. I gotta mute myself. Let me know if you guys can hear it okay. Let me preface by saying that it's not mixed. It's not finalized for sure, but these two are sort of close to done. So yeah, and the score is by the beautiful, amazingly talented George. I'm going to butcher your last name, George. George Ignitis. If I butcher that, I'm so sorry, but he's so brilliant. He's just incredible. So anyway, I'll shut the fuck up and play the clip. This one is very early in the movie. It is when you first meet adult Jason. And is after a lot of cool stuff that I won't show you today, but hopefully we'll show you soon. So ready? Here we go. Gonna do that. Gonna get
Special presentation of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer will continue in just a few moments. We here at GCM would like to thank you for tuning in and remind everyone at home to be safe, stay warm, and spend time with those you call family. Christmas Eve in our city has always served as both a tender memory of love and a haunting reminder of loss. We would like to take a moment to remember the tragic and brutal slayings of Thomas and Martha Wayne that occurred 35 years ago this very night. Their killer never brought to justice, a horrific tragedy that remains unsolved. Our heart goes out to all those who feel the loss of the Wayne's warmth in our city's snowy streets. Please remember to hold the ones you love closely. Merry Christmas.
have to overlook it.
Now, how can you overlook that? His beak blinks like a blinking beacon.
Hey, okay, cool. We're back. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is a very early scene in the movie. No spoilers at all in that scene. I think I've shown some of that before, but I really wanted to showcase that because I think it's a great showcase of how a lot of the movie feels. Yes, incredible score. George is fucking incredible, dude. And so I think that that is a great showcase of how the movie feels and the perfect intro to how Jason as an adult behaves, or as a young adult. I think he's 17, 18, depending on who you ask. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really do. I got another one I can show. I'll show a little later in the stream if I feel like it. I'm always nervous to show clips before they're officially done and out there. But I think there's 200 of you here right now, and so that's cool. It's a nice intimate group of people. Nice touch with the Rudolph dialogue. Yeah, that was something that I don't think was in the script, but I was looking for things to put on the TV in the background because I always wanted something relevant to Jason. So when he walks in the room, it's this old commercial that's like a Lucky Strike cigarette commercial with a woman who sort of resembles his mother and all these kind of little things. So with Rudolph, I thought about how I used to always watch that as a kid. And there's something deeply sad about Rudolph that I've always been so melancholy every time someone brings up Rudolph. So I loved being able to squeeze that in there. The cinematography is really good. It doesn't look like a fan film. Thank you. I really tried hard to make it just feel like the perfect, our perfect Jason story. So I'm glad to hear that it doesn't feel typically fan film. Wow, incredible score, subtle acting from the kid and adult Jason, the transition from steady to calm, camera work to chaotic and handheld. Very excited for this. Thank you. That's a great read of it. I'm glad that you picked up on that. Because I think that kind of chaotic handheld throughout the movie gets even more progressively shaky and unnerved the more we spend time with Jason. Not a word spoken already at cinema, which is funny because that's where we're comfortable, believe it or not. That is where we are comfortable, is no dialogue. All our shorts are very silent film based. And I know, not that I know what I'm doing well, but I'm very comfortable in just using visuals to tell the story. We love you, Daddy. Thank you. You're our number one daddy. 2 daddies. Thank you. How do you make thumbnails? They are amazing. Some people hate my thumbnails. I use Final Cut and then Lightroom. Somehow I'm guessing it won't have all the crazy Sheila Haywood subplots. Sheila is a very important character in our movie, and in our film we combined Sheila Todd Catherine Todd, and Sheila Haywood into one character, Sheila Todd. So we took the heroin addict angle from Catherine, and the really loving mother angle from Catherine, which I think Judd Winnick did a lot of stuff with in this one comic that I adore that I can't remember the name of. And we took the idea that Sheila had left Willis at some point and left Jason with Willis. And as you'll see in our movie, the first scene in our entire film is Sheila leaving Jason. And what does that do to someone? And what kind of hole does that fill? And how can you deal with the fact that, I might get emotional talking about it, but how can you deal with the fact that Sheila left because Willis is kind of a sack of shit? Sheila left because she's an addict, but she still left her son. And how does that affect Jason? What does that make Jason feel like his place is in the world at such a young age? And how does that go on to Robin? I'm sure you talked about this, but if money was no object, what's your complete vision for Jason? Genuinely, three chapters. And I think we might be able to pull it off if you guys spread the word, if you guys stay tuned in, if you guys still want me to do these films. I think we'll be able to tell that story. The whole idea was chapter 1 is about Willis and Jason. Chapter 2 is about Batman and Robin. And chapter 3 is about Jason and his mother. I think you could assume who it might be in chapter 3 if it's about Jason and his mother. So, yeah, I'd love to complete that. That scene was totally wicked. Thank you, man. Thank you. Who are your inspirations? Because I see elements of Fincher, man, and Italian neorealism here. Um, I have always loved David Fincher. I don't think I directly pulled from Fincher too much in this one. For me, this was very Cassavetes and Safdie and Andrea Arnold and Barry Jenkins were like the ones that always kept popping up on how to shoot a scene and how to do it in this low budget but feels like a documentary kind of way. But definitely, I think there's a inherent kind of like European touch to it, just because that's the shit that we're always freaking out about over at Castle HiTop. Me and the crew and the team, doing even not even European. You could do like Arthur Penn, Bonnie and Clyde, but doing these kind of just very raw. What's the most raw way to shoot a scene? How can we get the most natural light? How can we still make that beautiful and stylish? I love the set. Not sure if I remember it correctly, but the ceiling is a bit roughed up. I thought that was a cool detail. Yes, that set designed by the brilliant Natalie Brandt, and the team just brought the whole thing together. We took those panels from Just Another Kid in a Crime Alley, where it's just Jason like sparking up a cig, and that exact outfit kind of he's wearing now, but a little bit more modern for our movie. And Batman being in there, and took the kind of like piss stained walls and these leaking walls, but there's a record player there, and okay, well here's this poster for this movie Jason liked. And so we were very inspired by the comics in that element. But I like how you attack this without the fan film mindset. It's truly a movie without lowering your standards. Yeah, that was the whole entire thing. And I have nothing against fan films, like, at all. And I don't want to sound like I'm talking down to them, because I think they're a beautiful expression. Like, I've made Robin fan films in high school. I made Spider-Man fan films back in the day. There's nothing wrong with fan films. I love them and I adore them. No matter the budget, no matter the age that they make it, I love that shit. But for us, it was really just about treating it like, okay, we've been blessed with $30,000 to make a Jason Todd feature film. And if it doesn't feel like a Jason Todd feature film, then we fucked up. And that was our entire philosophy. How did it feel to wear the bat suit in your stunt cameo? Great question. Great spoiler question that I gave out on a podcast. But yes, at one point, you'll never be able to know. And I don't even know if the shot made it in the movie. But at one point, due to the nature of what we were shooting, I was directing and shooting the movie. Camera in hand, shooting the movie. And I had the Batman cowl on at one point. And that was like a surreal fucking moment, doing all that at once and all of it coming together. That was a surreal moment. I don't know. It might be in the... There's like a small chance that it's not there. But yeah. That was fun. It looks incredible. Question. Hopefully not too personal. You mentioned that your father's an artist. Did any of his art make it into the film? None of his art personally made it into the film, but it's a weird thing that I look at all these drawings that he did in college and after college, and the way that he lights his drawings, almost the way he shades, is so similar to how I light a scene. And it's one of those things that's like, is shit nature or nurture? It's one of those weird things where it's very like the way he depicts faces is very similar to mine. I don't know if I subconsciously picked that up or if that's just biological, but that was cool. How would you fix Kang in the MCU? I have no idea. I wish I could answer that. I don't think I've seen a single Kang thing. Didn't see Ant-Man 3. Tried to watch it eventually, but did not see it. Did not watch Loki yet. So no, I don't even know. Does Kang need fixing? Where are the bat nipples? We almost put them on. Cinematography is lovely. Seriously, fantastic work. Thank you, man. Thank you. It means the world. What camera and equipment were you using? We're using the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. And I have this like Jerry kind of rigged setup where I took a shoulder rig that we bought, and then I attached the arm and the bolt just to the handheld camera. So we have a cage and then one pole where it would be a shoulder rig. And that's what we shot a lot of the movie on, because it's steady, but you still have that natural shake, and I could get real up close and personal. So how long is the movie going to be? 50 minutes? No, like an hour and something. An hour. I'm going to go like an hour and, I don't know, an hour and 30, 40, 45. Why are those dinghies? Oh. Okay, cool. Alex, can we see the Robin suit? You cannot see it today because it's stored right now. Does he know? Do I know what I do? What I do? What I do? Do I have a booger? Any favorite parts of Pittsburgh that made its way into the film? Tons. I think that somewhat the movie's a love letter to parts of Pittsburgh too. A lot of the Strip District, a good bit of Lawrenceville, and the scenic downtown shots. So I think it's very much a love letter to Pittsburgh as well. Thank you, Wiley. Sorry I didn't see your super chat till now, but thank you, man. The one thing I've always felt with your videos is how emotional they always feel, even when I don't like the topic. It's something I admire. And that one scene, I felt that same emotion. Incredible. That truly means the world, dude. I think that I'm a sappy motherfucker, as you guys know. I love to get emotional, and I love to be as emotionally honest as I can in my YouTube videos and try to make you guys feel the same thing. And so to see that translated to this is it. This is like the peak. This is my dream project. To hear that comment and to see it translate not just to me but to you guys is truly humbling and amazing. Was there any scene you shot that you were worried with the cops would get called on you? Dude, all of them, man. And did that ever happen? No, never. We lucked out on this one. No. But every scene, I think, we were worried that we're going down for this one. I just finished writing my first script film scenario. Wish me luck turning in. My first short film scenario. Wish me luck in turning into script. Good luck, dude. I think you got this. Will it be on YouTube? Yes, for free, of course. Man's making Pittsburgh look like Gotham, something Nolan didn't do. Shows how great Alex is. Yeah, I'm no Chris Nolan, but I think that I knew this city well enough to turn it into Gotham, not just in the... I feel like also, like, if Nolan didn't have, like, 80 location scouts who have to clear shit with the mayor and with the city, then he probably would have shot in a lot of similar places that we did. Actually, we do have one church that you see in the background of The Dark Knight Rises that is in our movie prominently. Who do you want to play Batman in the DC universe? I've said this before, but Pattinson. I don't know if you'll find a better Batman. Also, keep up the amazing work. I love how honest you are. It makes you and your channel feel authentic. Thank you, man. I try. Thanks. Not gonna lie, I hate Pittsburgh. I hate working there. Pittsburgh, it's either, depending on the day, I fucking love it or I hate that place, you know? Alex, will Joker be in this movie or no? You'll just have to watch and see, man. Is Jason your favorite Robin? How do you perceive Dick? Or do you not relate to him as much, Jason? I love Dick Grayson, but to me, Jason, I've always just connected to way more. I love what Dick Grayson does for Bruce Wayne. I think one of the best duet pieces you could ever do is between Batman and Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. But Jason, I've always just really connected to. Would you like if Brave and the Bold took a Dark Victory angle to where it explores Bruce's loneliness and how Robin fills a hole in his heart? Of course, I'd love that. I'm not too excited for Brave and the Bold, just because I don't know if Andy Muschietti would be my perfect pick for Batman. I don't think that he's a bad director by any means, but from what I saw in Flash, it just felt like, I don't want to say Marvelized, but it kind of felt like Marvelized Batman, if that makes any sense. Like, there wasn't a definitive point of view. It was just fun and high octane energy, CG, all that stuff. So I'm not too excited for it, but maybe I'm wrong, you know. I'm sure that Flash went through the shitter and back before. Who knows what his movie looked like, but with all what they all wanted in. Someone said I'm not American, and my dad went to Pittsburgh when I was really young for some work, and he hated it because it's freezing. And it's really fucking freezing right now in Pittsburgh. Did you find it hard to have the child actor perform those intense scenes? So Leo is so incredible. He is more fucking mature than me, dude. Leo just was so down for anything, and we always made sure that he was, like, you know, not being traumatized by any of this stuff. But I think he's worked on movies with his dad, who plays another actor, who plays another character in our movie, for a while. So I think he's worked on zombie movies and such. So any kind of violence or like blood or any of that, he was totally down to clown. But I did worry at some points that, like, oh shit, like, you know, is this wrong to do? But then Leo would just be like, dude, shut up, we got this. Like, Leo's he's such a trooper. He shows up with a coffee on set. He knows all his lines. He knows exactly what beats to hit. Leo was great. Every time I watch your channel, I want to watch Spider-Man 2, the good one with Toby. Thank you. That's a good thing. Hopefully. How have you been? I've been praying for you and your family ever since your video dropped. Thanks, man. I really hope your situation gets better. I'm all right. Personal wise, I'm trying to put all the personal stuff aside to keep working on the movie and using all of it, you know. But thank you for the prayers, and thank you for asking about it, man. Alex said, I'd ironically want to see you make a direct-to-character study about Mary Jane. I would love to do a Mary Jane movie. People are like, Alex, would you want to do Spider-Man? I'm like, I think I want to do Mary Jane or Uncle Ben, or the two movies that I'd love to do. What lighting equipment did you use in the film, and how affordable are they? Dude, I swear to God, we probably spent no more than $100 on all our lighting equipment. No, that's a little underselling. 200 on all our lighting equipment. We have like aperture minis, which we use a lot. And then we have just standard, newer, cheap LEDs. But a lot of the time we use natural light. That was our friend in the film, was making sure we had enough lamps and to light the scene in a way that we could take the camera anywhere, you know. But so very affordable. You just have to think for the character and think smartly. But very affordable, our lighting setup. I agree with what you said about Pittsburgh. I want to like it, but it's so goddamn cold right now. Dude, it's fucking freezing, man. Dude, you're awesome. Thanks, man. You got me into Mitski. That's the best thing I could ever do. I'm very proud of myself for that. What did you think of Red Hood as a shown in Titan Season 3? I don't want to talk shit because I don't think it's Curran's fault. I don't think it's many people's fault. It's just not my cup of tea, the way they did Jason Todd in that show. Not my cup of tea. What did you think of... Okay, Indy... Wait, someone responded. I'm excited for both, but making a choice just because... Sorry, I'm not following the comments, all of them. Yo, Alex, your videos and content are some of my favorite. Congratulations on the amazing work. Wish you nothing but success, bro. Thank you, dude. Really means a lot. Could not be here without you guys, genuinely. Yeah, so should I play the second clip? I love that this is an intimate stream. YouTube hates me right now because I haven't uploaded. And I'm doing it on a random fucking Wednesday at fucking 7 o'clock. With no prep time, no announcement that I'm doing this. So I think I can probably show it off. The crew might be mad at me, but I could show another scene. I'll answer some more questions first. But yeah, guys, ask me anything you want about the movie, about life, about anything. I think videos are about high-quality shows like The Last of Us, House of the Dragon from your perspective will be incredibly interesting. That's the goal, is once I have time to actually have a thought that's not about Jason, is to expand the kind of YouTube stuff I do. Someone says, can I come over? Not tonight. I need an alone night. Yes, please play it. I'm loving this. Yes, I will play it. I will play it. I gotta go to the bathroom in a second. Can you shed some light on your writing process? I mentioned this on my Instagram. I do a lot of Instagram lives if you guys wanted to know that. But my writing process is very much just character-based. I want to get into the heads of the characters and figure out exactly who they are before I put them in situations. Like, of course, I always have a plot idea in my head. Okay, I want to end here. I want it to start here. I want this scene to happen. I want this scene to happen. But for me, it's really just about sitting down and talking to the characters. What I like to do personally is this exercise that my actors know really well too, where... I like write the character in a support group or in an interview or something where it's just them having the space to externalize internal thoughts and to just monologue and to just rant almost. And so a lot of our actors got cast because I'd send them those pages that I wrote of just like 5 fucking pages that won't be in the movie of externalization of like, okay, Roxy Drake, who you're about to meet in this clip, has always felt this way. And so Michelle would turn in an audition where she nails all that kind of emotion. And that's how a lot of our actors got cast. But that's how I write almost, is by doing these long form monologues for each character, figuring out who they are, and then figuring out where their place is in the story. And even if they have a place, I probably wrote monologues for characters that I did that aren't in the movie anymore. And it's just about figuring out what's the perfect fit for the story, and making sure that these people feel like people is always the most important thing. Even if you're doing Bruce Wayne, who tries his hardest to not feel like a person. Where's the humanity? What is that fear? And how can I do that in a 3-minute scene? Because some of our characters in this movie are only in the movie for 3 minutes. Not Batman, but I mean, there's certain side characters, but every character we wanted to make feel as real and human as possible. So that's always I don't know if I answered your question, but that's always my thought process when writing. I forgot to mention I met Sam Raimi at the Fan Expo. I did a photo op with him. Dude, that's so cool. Raimi's coming to Pittsburgh real soon, but I want to finish Jason before I meet him, just so I can be like, I too made a feature, Sam. I gotta go. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you, dude. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night, man. How many hours are you sleeping? Not enough. Please take care of your sleeping hours. I'll try, man. I appreciate the care. Okay, I gotta go pee real quick. So I think it's the perfect time to play the second clip. So for this clip, this is a little bit later in the movie. I don't think you might have seen some of this on Twitter, but this is a little bit later in the film. Roxy Drake has already been introduced, and this is a bit of a flashback to a moment between her and Jason a few years ago, I'd say. So enjoy, and I'll talk about it after. I really gotta pee. 1 sec. Okay. Let me know you guys can see.
I wonder what it's like to live there.
Expensive.
Yeah. But imagine we get a tiny apartment. Me, you, and Timmy. I could get a shitty serving job.
Yeah, maybe I could be a valet.
Seriously, man, we should get out of here. Part of Gotham, it sucks. It always has. You know? Fuck Gotham altogether. Fuck it! Let's go somewhere else. Somewhere warm. I don't wanna get stuck.
You know, I think about that a ton. Dream about it. What if I was born in the Bowery? Or the Diamond District? Fucking Metropolis. Would I be different? Would I be? But all those dreams, they end the same. They end with me running from something, towards something. And I wake up scared. In the same place I fell asleep. I just don't think it's the place that's bad.
It's not you, okay? It's not you.
Okay, we're back. Let me get the chat box back up. Oh, they get an ad? Oh, no. Sorry if you guys got ads. But yes, that is a scene I've never showed the entirety of before. That's not even the entire scene. That's just a big chunk of it. But also not too spoilery. A movie's very long, so if you've only seen 6 minutes, I feel like I'm not spoiling too much. But they're both pretty early in the movie, too. But yes, I'm glad you guys like that. I'm glad you like that. I feel like that's a good insight into Jason's soul. And I love Michelle as Roxy. She's so brilliant. And that was an original character created by Francesco and myself. So I'm glad that you guys like it. I mean, some of you like it. I don't know who, I didn't read all the comments, but while the cinematography is gorgeous, love how they're the only two focused in such an intimate conversation shot perfectly. Thank you. Someone asked, I saw while I was watching, what was your choice to make them spike the lens and look directly into the camera? And that was a decision we made really early on, that this movie is going to do that a lot in the kind of, Barry Jenkins, Wong Kar-wai way. But for this scene in specifics, it's a memory Jason's having. It's a memory. And I think that is crucial that we filmed it that way, if that makes sense. It feels like a dream. It doesn't feel completely real, but it feels so intimately true. If that, I know it's pretentious, but it feels dreamy, but it feels very emotionally real, was our thought process behind it, doing that. And also we I think this is the first time we do it in the film, directly like that in dialogue, and then we do it again later, and it's very important where we do it again later. So we need a place to kind of establish that's possible in our film. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible that a character can look directly into the lens. And also just with Jason, Chesko did this brilliant thing where he knew we were going to get there. And I don't know, can I clip a part of it? I don't know how to do that, but there's one frame where he is looking at Roxy and then he turns to look at us as if we're getting into this, where he's moving us into this kind of reality where they can look at the lens. And I think it's because he's holding on subconsciously, holding on to the details of her face very, very truly, because without spoiling too much, I think he knows that they want different things. And even if she's so there for him, he can't be there for himself, and he can't believe what she's saying, even though he wants to. Fantastic job on the Jason casting. Dude, Francesco's, I will send your kind words to him, because he's always so hyper fixated that he's going to let the fans down and let everybody down, but I think he's so brilliant. He looks and acts like him. He just oozes that pain. Every single stare, you can tell so much. Yeah, that was our whole idea, was Jason has way less dialogue than Willis does in the movie. That might not be true, but it feels like it. Willis is always chatting. His co-lead, his father, is always chatting, always joking. And Jason's pretty stoic for a lot of it. I mean, he's classically Jason Todd. He has his wise-ass remarks. He has the charm. But for us, it was really just about, what does trauma look like in the eyes? What does it look like in every frame, even if you're not directly feeling it? It's so important and Chesko's so talented at just using his eyes that you can always kind of sense exactly what he's feeling. But I know I love talking about this. I could talk about this for years. Francesco is a good-looking cat. I agree. Have you ever heard of the director Brodin Plett? I have not. He recently made a horror short film I think you might enjoy. I will write that down. I love your use of POV. It creates so much vulnerability and isn't used enough. Tokyo Story is my favorite use of this. Thank you. Yeah, we worried that we overused it a bit in this movie, but I actually, having seen most of the movie put together, I don't think we did. I think it always works. I just feel comfortable doing that too. It's weird because I wanted this to be so invasively in your face almost with the emotion of it, that doing over the shoulders, we barely ever did it, even though we planned to do a good few classic shot reverse shot over the shoulder. To me, it was always just about okay, this movie is literally just about Jason's face in so many ways, and its face at different points during the movie. And I just love photographing faces. I mean, go back to the other shorts if you feel like it. You don't have to, but go back to the other shorts, and we did that so much, and I've always felt comfortable doing that. So, can Jason plumb my toilets? Yes. Do you think a character like Jason Todd would fit into the Batman 2, where Pattinson's Batman would already be a little bit more established? I want Dick Grayson in the Batman 2, not Jason. I feel like the perfect Robin for Pattinson is Dick Grayson. But I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Matt Reeves do Jason. Just let us get our movie out first. Unblinking sincerity. Yes, that's a great way to put it too in the movie. I mean, the lighting really leads to the emotion of the scene. Did you and the DP really focus on the planning of the scene? So fun story. I am the DP of the movie as well. So me and myself had a really long conversation about how to shoot that. Great question though. But truth be told, that was one of the easier scenes to shoot because we could, when we're not bound to reality, when it's a memory, I can do jump cuts, I can do weird shit, I can do shit that's not consistent. The lighting doesn't have to be consistent, the cars behind them don't have to be consistent, because it's a memory and it's a thought, it's an emotion, it's not happening currently, and so those are some of the most fun to do, for me at least. Can you see a clip of Death in the Family or a picture, please? The picture in the trailer is what you can get for now, Krishna. But there will be more, I promise. Hey man, I love your channel. A video for me to share with you really inspired me to pursue filmmaking. Can't wait to see Jason. Thank you, man. Truly means the world. I love doing that video. I love doing that video so much. Couldn't have done it without Bailey either. Do you think we'll get DLC for Spider-Man 2? Yeah, I'm 100% sure we'll get some Carnage stuff. I love the transition from dream memory to reality. Yeah, that was such a fun one to do. We were laughing at it, which means I know it's good. Not that we thought it was bad or anything, but we were laughing because it's so fucking sad, cutting from that hug to just Jason alone having this memory. And I thought that was so tragically sad, and like this kid's gone through so much already in the film without spoiling too much, that shit just hit like a ton of bricks. Dude, but yeah, it's that's probably like what, 30, I think that's probably about 30 minutes into the movie, maybe even less, so it's not really that much of a spoiler, which is cool. I love how you added nuance to Gotham with average life citizens, even those living in the lower middle class, especially since it's so sparse in adaptations. Dude, our whole movie, that was our whole conceit, was this is Gotham City through the lens of the people who live in the slums and the people who live in Park Row, which used to be this bustling arts district and is now just this like forgotten shithole. And how do they respond in this comic book world, and what does that look like? And do it in a real way, but also in this dreamy kind of surreal way. But thank you. That means the world that you're picking up on that from the clips, because that was always the intent, to do that. Jason has the Heavy the Bear vibes. Funnily enough, we were already, I think, shooting Jason. I'm not sure when the bear came out. And Bailey texted me and was like, bro, have you seen the bear? And I was like, yeah, dude, I watched the pilot, I fucking loved it. And he was like, it's so Jason. I was like, let me watch this, and it really is, and that's awesome. That's a great compliment. Was it different to manage the budget? Different than what? But yeah, it was tough to do that. I think we actually did it pretty well. Thank God for the team helping me with that, because I could not have done that. He seems to have a longing for something he can't have. He does, I think. I think that a lot of the movie is about longing and about... You'll see what the movie's about. But to me, it's really just... I have this longing, but here's someone... And I think if you've ever had a rough experience loving someone, whether it's your family or a loved one or anything, you know, I think that you self-destruct in a sense. So for us, the fun of that scene, not even the fun, but the tragedy, is Jason saying, you know, I dream of leaving Gotham, but I all those dreams, I still wake up in Gotham, and I still wake up here, and I still wake up feeling like this, and I don't think it's the place. But he's never going to try, even if he should. And that was such a fun thing, too, because you all know what happens to Jason, like the viewer himself. We're doing a character study where you know the tragic ending. And so it's so sad because here's someone who clearly loves him a lot, saying, hey, man, leave. Hey, man, let's leave together. Like, you're not alone in this. It's not you. It's not your fault. And he can't listen to it. He can hear it, but is he truly absorbing it? And that's so deeply sad, but I think that's authentic, you know? Was Francesco ever too hard on himself? Yes. Yes. Very fucking much so. I'm sure he'll talk about it a lot in behind the scenes. Or maybe he won't. He'll put on a happy face and be like, it was easy. But no, very hard on himself. That man went insane doing what we did. I've seen actors give great performances and still not feel it's good enough. No, he's always being like, okay, well, that's ADR. We got to reshoot that. That's like, he's so hard on himself. I think I've always told him that he should pull the Adam Driver and DiCaprio and not watch his own movies because he's so self-critical. But he also is such a brilliant creative behind the movie that he needs to watch it because he always has great ideas of how to cut things and how to do things differently. Okay, I'm going to speed run through these because I feel bad because I feel like I didn't answer someone. Are you worried about copyright at all? Not really. Solely because I'm worried more about it for two. This isn't a Robin movie. It's a Jason Todd movie, fan film. And we didn't make a cent off of it. We didn't raise nearly as much money as some other fan films that didn't get shut down. We don't nearly have the attention it does. I'm not worried about getting shut down at all. But who knows? Knock on wood. Are there any weird flashback effects used, like in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, the way that movie uses flashback and slowly erased elements of them really left an impact on me? That'd be awesome. But no, there's nothing that kind of insane in the flashbacks. I think what we try to do a lot is do Terrence Malick kind of like cut to memory. So like you saw in that scene, it all blurs together. Jason is still the child, right? So Roxy looks at him with such a sad look when he says, would I be, and you can presume it's would I be happy, right? That's what I thought it was when I wrote it, the finished sentence. And then you see the kid and she sees the kid and he remembers the kid in that moment. And so doing weird shit like that, like when to cut to a random shot that's not in the movie of Leo that we got on set playing young Jason, stuff like that to really make it feel like memory is not kind of, memory and dreams are not consecutive. They're not linear in that sense. And if you feel like that child, you view yourself as that child. But Jason has heavy bear vibes. Thank you. You make lower class people such as myself feel heard, and I love you for that. That, dude, I could cry. That's the whole goal, man. That is the entire goal. And so thank you for saying that. That has made my day, that comment, genuinely. Yeah. And you are heard, and you will change the world. And just because of your circumstances or your family's circumstances doesn't fucking, doesn't take away who you are as an artist or a creative or a soul, Is the ending of the movie finalized? So the ending's finalized. There's a few scenes that aren't quite finalized, and that's part of the delay. Let it rip, Alex. Thank you. That's great. Will you make the bear video? I hope so, eventually. Alex, can we see Batman take Willis? I never said he takes Willis, and then you cut it off straight after the cape goes over his face. Yes, so in the trailer, Willis gets grabbed by a cape, and you can presume it's Batman. But I can't show you that scene. Why would I ever show you that scene? It's too much of a spoiler. Bro, I swear when I watch you do anything, it gets my head working constantly. It makes me want to work. Thank you, man. But be easy on yourself. Like, it's crazy doing all this shit. It's fucking absolutely insane. Is it coming out in December? I announced this earlier. It's not going to come out in December. I'm sorry to say that. But it will come out as soon as humanly possible. I will make an official release about it very, very soon. Cool. So if there's any burning questions, I will continue to answer them. I'll probably stick around till 8, so another 15 minutes if that sounds good with you guys. I love these more intimate streams. I get so nervous and feel like I have to not censor myself, but really watch, not even what I say, but just like really be strict on how I act when there's bigger audiences watching, And I like these kind of more intimate things, which is why I do them more frequently, or I'm trying to on Instagram. 2024 July. I hope it's fucking before July, dude. I really hope it's before July. I think it's going to be like... I don't want to make a promise, but my goal is if we all get our shit together and everything goes according to plan, it should be live. We should be able to do a screening of it in February if everything goes according to plan. Like a local screening before we go and do the YouTube release. Sorry, I can't fucking speak right now. Are there any specific cinematographers you took inspo from, or was it more about finding your own look for the story? It makes perfect sense. Great question. More about finding my own look for the story, but I've always taken influence from Bill Pope. I think Linus Sangreen's one of the best DPs working today. Matty Libatique, especially his work with Aronofsky. That was always such a huge thing too. There's so many, but it really was, above all else, not about imitating a different cinematographer, but taking proper inspiration, but making it feel like Jason is deciding how we see the movie. You know, we're watching him, but I always wanted to feel like Jason's directing in a sense. It's not me directing, it's Jason and how he's viewing the world. What do you think the best live action Jason is aside from your own, and what's your favorite comic starring Jason? So I don't know if I have a favorite live action Jason. Maybe Chris O'Donnell, because I think that he's more Jason Todd than Dick Grayson. And what is my favorite comic? Probably the old school, Just Another Kid in Crime Alley, the Jim Starlin stuff. And I loved Urban Legends recently, and then Under the Red Hood, and then Lost Days, which has a few weird things plot-wise in it. But just the characterization of Jason, when we get to hear his thoughts, I feel like it's sort of in sync with how I viewed him. This is a good question. What do you think of EFAP and their coverage of you? Dude, I truthfully, it used to bother me, I think like years ago, and now I just don't really... I'm happy that I made anything that people feel the need to talk about is my response to that. And you know, I don't care that, you know, sometimes I don't care that they tear me down. It's more just like I see some shit that I'm like, they're like fucking berating some creator, and no one ever wants to feel that way. So I'm kind of indifferent to it at this point, but I have seen some of the shit, if that makes sense. Stumbled into the stream while getting ready for work. Love Jason's character. I'm hyped for your film. Do you have a favorite canonical Jason Todd storyline? I kind of just answered that. One of my favorites is this one where Jason's like he's like in Leslie Tompkins' clinic, and I don't know who wrote this, and I'm a hack. It's not, I don't think it's in mainline Batman. It might be an annual or a Detective Comics story. It's from, I think, like probably the 80s, and it is Jay like getting sewn up by Leslie Tompkins, and just Bruce reflecting on himself and what he's done, and taking in another kid and all this stuff. And that's one of my favorite Jason stories, when he's Robin, when he's young. I know you're fully invested in Jason, but suppose you finish 3 chapters of Jason's. Do you have any plans after that? I have tons of ideas for movies and stuff, but right now it's all Jason Todd in my head. But yeah, I do have plans. You start a podcast. George is in the chat. George, did you hear me butcher your last name? Did you hear me do it earlier? We played some clips with your music. Let me know how good I was or terrible I was at pronouncing your last name. But dude, I'm so excited to send you some more. I'm kind of waiting till we have picture lock to send you pretty much all the movie, because I don't want to have edits for you based on what we're doing. Like if you time something perfectly, I don't want to mess with your process, you know. But dude, yeah, I probably butcher your name, but George, man, brilliant. In a perfect world, 200 million, what is your dream project to make? Jason was my dream project to make. This first Jason specifically was my dream project. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I had money now. I don't know. Jason 2. Does Willis care for Jason? That's a question I really don't want to answer, because I want you guys to make your own assumptions. I think yes, but I also think that the world in which Jason is raised, and the experiences that Willis has had and Jason has had, I don't think he can care for him properly. So yeah, he said, yeah, it's okay. So did I butcher it? I'm totally fine with that, so I can start planning for them. Okay, dude, if you just want to see, if you want me to send you, I can send it to you literally in 5 minutes, the first like hour and 7 minutes of the movie. But I don't know if you'll be able, you can start writing, I think. Here, I'll just text you. Not everybody has to see what we're talking about. I'll DM you in a few minutes. George, you did a fantastic job. Yes. Okay, cool. I have a question relating to directing. Have you ever had any major disagreements with Francesco about Jason? If so, whose take did you end up going with? Me and Chesco tend to not disagree too much on the character. That's one thing we don't really disagree on. And I think it's always understood that like if there's a disagreement, that probably means there's a mutual answer that's better than the individual disagreement, if that makes any sense. So basically, if he thinks the scene should go this way and I think it should go that way, I'm not like, well, I fucking am the director. It's never like that. I'm like, well, what about a middle ground? Is there a better way to do it in between? So I never had major creative disagreements with anyone really on the set. Trying to think. No, not really. No, I've lucked out in that sense. Alex, you did say that Bruce took Willis because when you were looking for your... Yes, Krishna, that is true. I think that Batman and Willis do interact, and that might be the fate of Willis. But also, that was just an audition page. I can't tell you if that's what happens in the movie, because it might not happen that way. And maybe it doesn't happen that way. You demand. No, you demand. Can you try to do different topic videos more? I think that'd be great. I'd love to, man. I'd love to make more videos in general. What is the most difficult thing that you had to handle as a director on the feature film for the first time? Great question to kind of end the whole thing on, I think. The most difficult thing for me was balancing all the plates. It wasn't even directing as much as it was directing and shooting and producing and doing everything that usually you would have a crew to do. And we did have a lovely crew, but doing so much of it myself was super, super taxing. And I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. If you can get a DP that is in sync with you, get a DP. If you can, at least get a camera op. So that was always super, super taxing, I think, on me. All the hats, and then still trying to keep the vision clear and communicate clearly while being so overwhelmed and stressed. I'd do it again in a heartbeat, but I don't think I could ever... Given the option, I would not make the movie the way that we did with as much pressure on the core kind of four of us in the core crew, me, Francesco, and two other people that there was. So that was probably the hardest part. Okay, cool. I think that's a perfect place to end the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really like doing this one. I think I talked for a lot more than usual, which is good. Thank you guys so much for just being here. I'm glad you like the clips. Spread the word. More updates coming soon. More footage coming soon. Hopefully some YouTube videos coming soon. So thank you guys so much for being here and for, being you guys. So